Hey guys, it is ArchieSims here, back with another speed build in The Sims 4. Today we're building a house called House in a Box, which is a recreation of a house I made in The Sims 3 called Mini Modernity. I decided to change the name up a little, only because I thought a house in a box sounded cooler. So, much like the original house, it is a small one-bedroom house, but it is by no means a starter home. I think it ends up coming out at around 70,000 simoleons, which is still quite expensive. One of the main differences between this and my Sims 3 version of this house was that I decided to do the interior a very open living plan, and there's no real enclosed rooms at all. Even the bathroom, which is kind of weird, but a couple or a single sim won't have an issue using the bathroom together, so I figured why not? And it's not really the kind of house for entertaining, but if it does become a major issue, there is enough room for you to finish enclosing that wall and stick in a door if you do decide to download this house. I decided to build this house because I thought it would be good practice. I need to get better at building modern houses in The Sims 4 because without the constrained floor elevation tool, I find that most of my houses just end up looking boxy and weird. So I thought this was just a simple one, single level. It wouldn't be too much of an issue. There's not much I could do wrong. And this was one of my favorite houses in The Sims 3. It does have a very sleek, modern, black and white interior, as you can kind of see at the moment with the floor and the walls there. And it's very minimalistic, and the interior was something that I did not struggle much with in terms of the lack of creator style tool, only because everything seems to have a black and white option in the palettes there, which is really good. Although the exterior of the house I'm not really happy with. I had to kind of compromise with the wall paintings and things that not the wall painting, the wall covering that I used, only because I couldn't quite get the same one that I used in The Sims 3. But I tried to recreate it as best as possible. It's kind of hard without the creator style tool, but it was always going to be. You can see me here doing the kitchen, and it's kind of in its own little room too, but not really. I tried to get black and white going on, but struggling with the color of the counters here for a while. I even changed it up again. I find that black counter there isn't really black enough, so I make it this really sheer dark black, which looks much better in my opinion. And then I stick some of these half cabinets above it, and a little, what are they called? Like a stovetop? I don't know what they're called. And I do this cool brick feature wall there, and in the bedroom and bathroom too. As you can see me doing the bathroom here. It's very small and kind of tucked away in there, but I don't think, like I said, your Sims won't have an issue using it. And I do really like how this bathroom turned out. It's very, very elegant, very swank, if you ask me. Just kind of messing around with colors here, trying to get all of the right colors. And I love those benches there. I was going to use them in the kitchen, but they just weren't quite modern enough for this type of house. Those industrial benches. I want to build a house at one point where I can use all that stuff and it would fit in. And the beds here, I struggled with kind of choosing a bed, not as much as I would in The Sims 3, but I still really don't like how the beds work in The Sims 4. How you can't change the color of the base of the bed and the bed sheet separately. I mean, that should definitely be a thing. And I really like that wardrobe there. What's it called? Not a wardrobe, a dresser. That looks really nice though. And I chuck in 2 chairs here, although I end up getting rid of one because that white chair there, I just couldn't get to look white in that light, and it just looked this really gross off-white color. So in a moment I do end up changing that up, and I put in a bookshelf there, I think, which looks cool still. And rugs, I mess around with the rugs for quite a while in this room, and then I end up going back to that very first rug that I had there, the one with the rose on it. Rugs are another thing in The Sims 4 I'm not a fan of how rugs, just because they all seem to fit way too perfectly into however many squares. So this room here is exactly 5 squares wide, and so is that rug. So it doesn't look like the rug is in the room as much as just this whole chunk of the floor has been colored this color. And I don't know, I'm not a fan of it. And here you can see I chucked in that bookshelf that I was talking about, and I just try and chuck in some paintings and things in the bathroom. I do end up putting another one in there later on, but now I think I'm just trying to decorate the hallway and stuff. I put in this little shelf here, which I did realize I forgot to put any decorations on. I did intend to, but I it completely slipped my mind. So if you want to do that when you download this house, that can be something for you to do. And I think here I'm just trying to get the foundations as well. That was another thing. I don't understand why we can't recolor the foundations. Like, there's probably like a legitimate reason why, like in terms of how they've programmed the game, in terms of why we can't recolor the foundations the same color as the walls, but it just seems something that, it just seems intuitive that you would want to do that. I mean, at least in some situations, like this, like, it looks really odd having that big grey chunk at the bottom of the house, but, I mean, it looks alright, I guess. And here is where I realized I've made the lounge room way too big. And I need to do that fancy thing where you can just click and drag walls. Well, I'll do it in a second, I think. Click and drag the walls to make the room smaller, which is fancy. Although, for some reason, all of my... well, not all of it, but some of the furniture disappeared, which I didn't think happened. I thought that was something that, you know, the furniture was meant to move with the room, but oh well. It wasn't that big of an issue, really. And that bookshelf was giving me issues there, so I decided to move it in a moment, you'll see. And I put in a big fancy TV and just moving those windows. I think I put in, yeah, different windows there, and just got to recolor them. And I think here is where I decided to put in, oh no, here is where I decided to put in a desk and a chair, and then I moved that bookshelf there. And then in a second, you'll see me messing around with resizing that computer there that you just saw. I was never going to keep it, I just wanted to see if you could do it. And you can do it, it looks really weird, and like the keyboard will like stick out of the desk, but it can be done. And I'm really liking all these black and white photos that they have that I can stick around. I think they look really cool, just sticking some around. And then I do put a photo here, which I don't keep. I end up putting that one in the bathroom, I think. And in a second, I pull out this plant, this one here, I wish I'd kept it. Instead of that gross boxy one in the corner, I wish I'd kept that kind of twigs and blossoms thing. And I think we're nearing the end. I think in a second we just stick in some lights and move some things around, and we're done with the interior. Oh, I also do put a big rug in the kitchen. And that utensil thing there, I was trying to... I knew that there was another utensil holder in there somewhere, and I couldn't find it for the life of me. And then I realized that it was in miscellaneous instead of clutter decorations. So all the other utensil holders, like the kitchen utensil holders, are in miscellaneous, except for that one. Oh no, the other way around. They're all in clutter, except for that one, which is in miscellaneous. So if you're looking for it, it does exist. It's just in an odd spot. And I tried to hang this, like, pots thing, but it would have just, like, your sim would have just hit their head as they walk through it. Like, it's way too low. And I think I just moved that painting there, and we are almost done with the interior. Oh, just that rug I was talking about. And I think we use this one here, just this plain white rug. Looks alright, I guess. Doesn't look too bad. And then I think we finish with some lights, and then go with the exterior. Yeah, another thing that really bugs me is without move objects. Doing the interior without move objects is okay, I can live with that. But when I try and do landscaping with plants and things, and I can't stick a whole bunch of plants really close together, I don't know, I always find it just looks a little bit odd when you have, you know, all these plants with huge spaces in between them. So that's another thing that I'm not happy about with this house, is just the exterior in that way. And I tried to recreate the same kind of landscaping as I had in The Sims 3 with that bamboo and everything. And lots of ferns and things, very lush, but not colourful. I didn't use a whole bunch of colourful plants. I think I used maybe one flower, and just to kind of use some filler, and it's not very colourful at all. There we go. Or maybe two of them. But that's about it. Just chucking in some cactuses and some succulents and some... what are those other things called? Like reeds? I don't even know. And some bamboo. And then I think we put in some chairs out the front in a second. Just some sitting chairs. In my Sims 3 house, I did have the... what was it called? The swinging chair from the Bohemian Garden set. But of course we don't have that in The Sims 4. So... yeah, hopefully we can look forward to something like that as some store content, because that would be really cool. And I think we're just about done now. I think we're just going to finish up some terrain painting, and then we head into some screenshots. So I do hope you like this build, guys. If you do, don't forget to leave me a cheeky comment down below telling me what you think. And of course, there will be a description down below telling you how you can download this house in the gallery. You can search for it by looking for House in a Box, or you can search for me by looking for ArchieSims, all one word. And yeah, I will also leave a link in the description below so you can have a look at my Sims 3 version of this house. So yeah, I hope you like this house. Don't forget to subscribe and like, and I will see you all next time.